The invitation to my sister Vanessa's charity gala arrived with a handwritten note. Ryan, you can attend but please stay in back areas. This is Vanessa's night to shine. Dress understated. Mom. I read it twice. Stay in the back. Don't be seen. Let the successful child shine. At 31, I'd spent 8 years building a career in data analytics. My family thought I worked some tech job crunching numbers. They'd stopped asking for details. Vanessa was hosting a charity gala for her arts foundation. She'd married Preston Cole, whose family owned a commercial real estate portfolio worth $200 million. The Coles were prominent in Chicago society. My mother had made it clear. Vanessa's event was for networking with high-net-worth individuals. I was the tech nerd brother who didn't fit the aesthetic. What they didn't know, I wasn't just a data analyst. I was Chief Data Officer for Nexus Global, a Fortune 500 technology conglomerate with $47 billion annual revenue. I managed data infrastructure for 62 countries, led 800 employees, reported directly to CEO Catherine Torres. My compensation was $2.3 million annually plus equity worth $8 million. I'd revolutionized Nexus's data architecture, saving $600 million over 3 years. They didn't know because I'd stopped sharing. When I got my MIT master's, my father asked when I'd get a real business job. When I mentioned my VP promotion at 27, Vanessa said, Preston just closed a $50 million deal. Real money. So I let them think I was forgettable Ryan with his boring tech job. The gala was Saturday at the Pinnacle Club. I arrived at 7 wearing a Tom Ford suit. My mother met me at the entrance, expression pained. Ryan, good. We've set up a table in the library for family members not part of the main program. You'll be comfortable there. You're hiding me in a separate room? Not hiding. Vanessa has worked hard. The attendees are serious philanthropists, business leaders. She needs the right impression without distractions. She led me through the main ballroom, crystal chandeliers, ice sculptures, champagne, into a smaller library with chairs and basic refreshments. There. You can see everything through the glass but you won't be in anyone's way. Through the glass wall I watched the gala. Vanessa held court in a designer gown, Preston beside her. My father worked the room. My phone buzzed. Catherine Torres, my CEO. Ryan, I'm at the Pinnacle Club for the Arts Gala. Are you here? Want to introduce you to board members. Catherine had mentioned attending. Nexus was a corporate sponsor contributing $500,000. She didn't know Vanessa was my sister. I texted, I'm here. Currently in the library room. Long story. Stay there. Coming to you. 3 minutes later, Catherine Torres walked in. At 54, she was a tech industry legend, featured on Fortune's cover, ranked among the world's most powerful women. She looked around, then at me, eyebrows raised. Ryan, why are you in here? Family request. I'm supposed to stay out of sight so I don't embarrass my sister. Catherine's expression went cold. Explain. I told her. Vanessa was my sister. My family considered me unsuccessful. I'd been asked to stay hidden because important donors were present. Catherine listened, face growing severe. Your family doesn't know what you do? They know I work in tech. They don't know I'm CDO of Nexus Global. And your sister is running this event? Yes. The Vanessa Cole Arts Foundation. Catherine pulled out her phone, typed, then looked at me. The foundation that received a $500,000 Nexus sponsorship. The sponsorship I approved based on your recommendation. That's the one. So you're the reason Nexus is sponsoring. Your family asked you to hide because you're not successful enough, and you're the highest-ranking Nexus executive in the room? Correct. Catherine smiled without warmth. Come with me. Catherine walked out with me beside her. Heads turned. Everyone recognized Catherine Torres. My mother spotted us. Her smile froze. Ryan, what? She turned to Catherine. Miss Torres. We're so honored Nexus is sponsoring tonight. Mrs. Chin? Ryan's mother. Yes. I didn't realize you knew my son. He works in technology, but I didn't know he worked at Nexus. Your son is my chief data officer. He runs data operations for a Fortune 500 company with $47 billion in revenue. Didn't he mention that? My mother went pale. He said data analytics. He does. At the executive level. He's one of the most talented strategists in the industry. Which is why I'm confused why he was sitting alone in a library. My father appeared. Miss Torres, Robert Chin. We're thrilled to have Nexus's support. Did you know your son is why Nexus is sponsoring? He recommended it personally. I approved $500,000 on his word. My father's smile faltered. Ryan recommended, but he never. Because Ryan doesn't share accomplishments with family who've decided he's not successful enough to mingle with donors. Vanessa appeared with Preston. She was radiant until she saw Catherine talking to me. Ryan, what are you doing out here? She turned to Catherine. Miss Torres, I apologize if my brother is bothering you. He's not really part of the program. Your brother is why there is a $500,000 Nexus sponsorship, Catherine said. I'm trying to understand why he was hidden. Vanessa's face showed confusion, disbelief, horror. That's impossible. Ryan works he's a data analyst. At Nexus Global. As Chief Data Officer. Reporting directly to me. Preston stepped forward. Miss Torres, I don't think you understand. Ryan is Vanessa's younger brother. He's not really involved in business. Mr. Cole, your family's portfolio is valued at $200 million, correct? Yes. Ryan's compensation this year was $2.3 million plus equity worth $8 million. His work has saved Nexus $600 million. He manages 800 employees across 62 countries. The silence was absolute. My mother found her voice. Ryan, why didn't you tell us? I tried to share my career. You weren't interested. You asked when I'd get a real job. You compared everything to Preston's deals. So I stopped trying. Catherine's phone buzzed. That's the board members arriving. I told them I'd introduce our CDO who recommended this sponsorship. Ryan. She swept toward the entrance where 3 board members were checking in. Vanessa grabbed my arm. Ryan, wait. Please. I didn't know. You would have what? Treated me with respect? Let me attend as a guest instead of hiding me. Preston looked stunned. Your compensation is really $2.3 million? Plus equity. Yes. But you drive a Honda. I don't need a car to prove my worth. Catherine returned with board members. Michael Zhang, Patricia Morrison and David Chin. Ryan. Michael said. Your Q3 presentation was brilliant. Have you met the foundation director? They looked at Vanessa expectantly. Vanessa stepped forward, voice unsteady. I'm Vanessa Cole, foundation director. And Ryan's sister. Patricia's eyebrows shot up. Ryan's sister? He must be so proud. The data architecture he's built is revolutionary. Yes. Very proud. David turned to me. Ryan, I wanted to ask about the foundation's data collection methods. Catherine mentioned you'd reviewed their framework. Yes. I sent a detailed report 3 weeks ago with suggestions for more robust protocols. Vanessa's face went blank. That was you. The consultant who sent the technical report. Not a consultant. Your brother. Catherine smiled. Ryan's report was excellent. It's why I increased the sponsorship from $250,000 to $500,000, contingent on implementing his recommendations. Did you not read it? It was very technical. I had my assistant file it. Your brother wrote a comprehensive analysis to help your foundation, and you didn't read it? Patricia's voice was ice. My mother tried salvaging the situation. Miss Torres, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I didn't invite them, I said. Nexus is a corporate sponsor. I'm here because I'm family, though apparently that means being hidden so I don't embarrass anyone. Michael looked confused. Hidden? Why? Because my family decided a data analyst brother wasn't impressive enough to network with donors. They asked me to stay in a separate room. The board members' expressions went from confused to appalled. Catherine pulled out her phone. The sponsorship agreement lists Ryan Chin as Nexus's designated representative for foundation partnership activities. He should have been introduced as the key liaison. She showed Vanessa. See? Section 3. Your foundation agreed Ryan would be the primary contact. Yet you didn't know who he was. Vanessa's hands shook. I didn't read the full contract. Preston's attorney handled. Your foundation received $500,000 and you didn't read the contract? David shook his head. That's concerning. The gala attendees had noticed. Important donors watching the foundation director being dressed down. My father tried once more. Ryan, maybe you'd like to say a few words to donors? You want me to speak now? After asking me to hide? After years of dismissing my career? I looked at Catherine. What do you think? Catherine addressed my father. Mr. Chin, Nexus partnered with this foundation solely because of Ryan's recommendation. He believed in the mission. He analyzed their systems and advocated for funding. And your family repaid that by hiding him. He turned to Vanessa. Ms. Cole, Nexus requires partners to demonstrate strong governance and respect for relationships. Asking your brother, our CDO and your foundation's liaison, to hide raises serious questions. Ms. Torres, please. You didn't know because you never bothered to learn what your brother does. That's not an excuse. That's a character problem. Michael stepped forward. Catherine, should we reconsider the sponsorship? The question hung in the air. Every donor went quiet. That depends, Catherine said, looking at me. Ryan, do you still believe in this foundation's mission despite how you've been treated? I looked at Vanessa, my parents, the guest. The mission is solid. The execution needs work. The leadership needs to learn that success comes in many forms. Catherine nodded. The sponsorship stands. But conditions. Ryan will have quarterly oversight. The foundation will implement his recommendations within 90 days. And next year Ryan will be keynote speaker. Agreed. Vanessa had no choice. Agreed. The gala proceeded with me no longer hidden. Catherine made sure every donor knew I was Nexus's CDO. Multiple donors asked for my card. After the event, my mother cornered me. Ryan, I'm so sorry. We didn't understand. You thought I was a failure. You were embarrassed. You asked me to hide. Those aren't misunderstandings. But you never corrected us. I tried to share my career. You weren't interested. My father joined us. Son, we want to make this right. You want to celebrate now? Now that you know I make $2.3 million? Where was this when I was just your son who worked with computers? Vanessa approached, mascara smeared. Ryan, I'm so sorry. I should have known. You should have treated me with basic respect regardless of my job. I left the Pinnacle Club. My phone buzzed. Catherine checking if I was okay. And one from Vanessa. I understand if you never want to talk to me again. 3 months later, the foundation implemented my recommendations. Vanessa sent monthly progress reports. I responded politely but distantly. 6 months later, my parents invited me to dinner. I declined. They tried again. I declined. Finally, my father called. We're in family therapy trying to understand why we favored Vanessa. Please give us a chance. Are you in therapy because you want to change or because you're embarrassed? Long pause. Both. But we're trying. I started having dinner with them once monthly. Carefully. They asked about my work now. She listened. It wasn't forgiveness. But it was progress. A year later, Vanessa's foundation won a national award for data-driven impact. She thanked me in her speech, crediting my recommendations. She called afterward. You saved the foundation. Can we have coffee? I want to know my brother, not the CDO. We met for coffee. Talked carefully, then naturally. It wasn't the sibling relationship we'd had. But it was honest. 2 years later, I'm still CDO at Nexus. Still successful on my terms. Still driving my Honda. My family learned that hiding people you're ashamed of doesn't make them unsuccessful. It just makes you small. The gala was supposed to be Vanessa's triumph. Instead, it became the night they learned you can't dismiss someone for years and expect them to save your reputation when convenient. I don't need their approval anymore. And that's the most successful thing I've achieved.